Alrighty. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Another fun-filled day, you know? Another fun-filled day. Obviously, the issues don't seem to want to go away. We really seem to be trapped inside the Afghanistan thing, and then the Federal Reserve came out yesterday, saying basically, we need to start doing something about all this money we keep on throwing around. Woo! After 13 years, they realized that they said they were going to stop 9 years ago. It's like, wait a minute, we needed to make that left turn over there. What left turn? The one back, like 9 miles ago. Oh, okay. No wonder we're not going where we want to be. Exactly. So, anyhow, that's what you see, and you can see this morning looking at the Swiss. It's got a couple of green hinky ashies trying to move up on the J4X. You see the little white line trying to pierce the dashed line. The yellow, the goldish dashed line. The white line is trying to pierce it and move up. So it kind of trying to tell us that there's some buying starting to occur. I guess you could say that, or selling, however you want to look at it, because that's what it comes down to in the end. Is that when they're taking the Swiss up, it's losing value, and then when they're taking it down, it's making money against the dollar. So right now, Mr. and Mrs. Dollar, King Dollar is being King Dollar like it always is. Especially when they run the whole planet, and they do. It is their planet financially. What was I was reading something about. I was reading something very fascinating about that whole situation. I know what it was. I think I mentioned just a little bit yesterday, but it was part of the Bretton Woods and the disconnect of the gold against the dollar, and how that all played out. And I've always said, de Gaulle said he was going to exercise all his dollars into gold. And Britain also said the same thing, and de Gaulle sent a battleship, I think it was, he was not president at the time. I think Pompidou was president. And, to come pick up their gold, so they could exercise it. But then, Nixon nixed that, I guess you could say. And next thing you know is, we've got all the gold. So that is what it is. I mean, the world, it was set up on a system where the dollar was going to be the main currency, but it was going to be backed by gold, not by its reputation and power. And when they realized that was going to be wiped out, they kept the gold, and they stopped disconnected that law. And here we are today, 50 years later, because people were starting to reminisce about. It was actually in 1971, so they're kind of reminiscing about it, 50 years later. With the Bretton Woods and the currencies and gold and all that stuff, all combined together. So, that's kind of what it comes down to in the end result. But anyhow, that is the Swiss right there. You can see how it's acting and what it's doing, and that's where it's at. And not much more to be said about that. So now, why don't we jump over to the chat line? See if anybody is there. And it is a Thursday before Friday. Someone tried to use logic yesterday of, her name's Beth. Beth said, today's Wednesday, but tomorrow is Thursday. Thursday's the day before Friday, so I guess we're really on Friday already. So tomorrow's Friday. Anyway, here we go. And let's check out the chat line and see if anybody is there. Can you hear me now? It doesn't seem like anything particular is going on there. I don't see any questions. It's all quiet there on the old Western Front. So, we'll just keep on rolling along. So let's take a look at how well the euro is doing this morning. Let's see, where is that at? No, that's the wrong chart. Let's go over to there. There's the euro. And I guess you could say, happy anniversary, the disconnect from gold to currency. That's kind of what's going on all this week. I've been reading some really great stories about it. see, there's the euro on J4X right there. You can see its white line, like on Chicago Quant, right there. So where's Mr. and Mrs. Mouse? There's the mouse. You see, like right there. It's going down there, right? See that? And then you can see it same here on J4X, going down. So you see that pressure, you see the little red dots we got going on there. You can see the hinky ashies going red there. So that's pretty cool, huh? And that's the pressure. We're getting down towards the low. We'll see what they do there. I don't really believe there's going to be that much action. I know king dollar is king dollar. It's irritating at the least, disgusting at the most, as far as we're concerned here in America many times. But what it does is it allows the politicians, when you have king dollar, it allows the politicians to go, wow. It's like one of those movies where girls have gone wild in Florida, in Miami, or in New Orleans. They lift up their blouses for beads and things like that. And it's the same thing. Our politicians do that. They go wild. They spend billions and trillions, on anything and everything, just under the guise of they care. They care. They really do. All right. Let's jump over to cable. See what that's doing. Let's go to Mr. and Mrs. Cable now. And there is the Great British Pound. Yeah, they claimed they were going to exercise $3 billion in gold. Baring, who was the ambassador at the time, from Baring, like Gleason and Baring, and one of the oldest successful banks in British history, who got put out of business by some clerk in Singapore or something like that. And sad but true. And Gleason, yeah. And so in the end result is that Baring supposedly went to the Federal Reserve, and there's letters and articles about how he went there and he said, I think we're going to exercise all the dollars we have into gold, which is $3 billion worth of gold. And you know how Nixon had those tapes? He was recording everything all the time. There was a meeting between him, Holderman, and I'm trying to think who else was it. Maybe it was George Shultz. He was Office of Management and Budget, something like that. And he said something like, we'll never allow it to drop below $10 billion of gold. We can't allow it to drop below 10 billion. So in other words, people can exercise all the way up to about 10 billion, and baby, we're going to close the window. And so Baring came in, and the French were getting antsy, and like I said, Pompidou was president, and de Gaulle was Secretary of Defense, I guess, or Foreign Minister of Defense, or whatever Defense Minister, or whatever, and sent a battleship to go pick up the gold. Well, that didn't work. As I understand, the British did get 750 billion, I guess? Let's see, it was 3 billion they were looking for. So I guess they got 3 billion. So they got 750 million. That's what it was. They got 750 million because they were looking for 3 billion to exercise. And because Baring, he realized that they were going to close the gold window here in the States. And Nixon did. And that's why we are where we're at today. Politicians going wild. That's right. Just give them a couple beads and they'll spend billions. All right. And there you can see cable. Red, 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 red wine. See, it's got all those little things going down. You see over on line 13. We're 3 days in a sell. We're 1 week in a sell. You can see euro. We didn't even look at that on the fact check spreadsheet. 10 weeks in a sell and 2 days in a sell. So it's been being dogged. It's being dogged, all right. It's being knocked down. And you can see it right there. That's the euro still right there. And then let's put the cable up there. You can see it's dropping even faster at the moment. Seems like it's having its issues. So yeah, happy anniversary. Closing of the gold window and the backing of the dollar with gold. And here we are 50 years later in trillions and trillions of dollars. Everybody's in debt. Instead of balanced budgets, that was the reason why the balanced budget was shifting. And so, they did that. They closed the gold window, and here we are today. I don't know if the states are better for it or worse. I would say probably worse. But that's politicians. They got hooked on the jazz. They love the money. Being able to spend it. Take that money. Take your money and spend it, because see, we care. That's what they say. We care. It's funny, isn't it? All right. Nope. Let's not do that. Let's stay there. There's the cable, and you can see the weekly seems to be drifting down with no problem, and you can see very clearly on J4X, Smackadoodle City right there. Lots of red, and tried to go up a little bit, and then back down underneath again right there. All right. Now we drift over to the Turkish lira. And so let's see how she's doing today. You see on the fact check spreadsheet, where's that at? That's line 17. We are coming in. We were 5 weeks in a sell and 5 days in a sell. I do know, I looked at it earlier, it doesn't look that way anymore. Let's see, right there, Turkish lira against the dollar. On J4 there. And there it is. You can see we got a green hinky, so that baby is popping on the upside. All right, now let's check it out right there. Same thing. Zoom to the moon, Alice. Look at that, taking off. Well, look at the weekly though. Unfortunately, the weekly is dragging its heels, but at the moment, it's because King Dollar is being King Dollar. Now, what I really enjoy is taking a look at the euro against the Turkish lira. That gives much more insight to the direction, future direction, that is. La, 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 la. Let's see, I'll find it in a sec. There we go. Yes, indeed. Euro Turkish lira right there. And we'll put it up on J4X too. You see, same thing. It's popping up, and it's even Steven. It's trying to get going also. See that there? Let's move that over a little bit. What's that say? That's a day quant. We need to make that bigger. Day quant. So you know which one it is. And then there's the weekly quant. Weekly quant. Boom. I like those colors. That's my old Hatfield colors. Or now it's Hertfordshire. Let's see. I know we have something in there that says what it is, don't we? Doesn't it say euro somewhere? I guess not. We're going to have to write it in there. Let's do that. Let's just put that in there. And bing, bing. And that is, ooh, there it is right there. Shift. Euro. TRY. There we go. I said we make that black too. Bing, bing, bing. There we go. I think that makes more sense. Let's save that too, so you get a better idea, because it is truly a very insightful index, or not index, tool. It really is. You can see here the weekly could care less. Look at that. Yeah, it's a couple weeks in the sell longer. It is curving at least. You can say that. Let's see. Where's the mouse at? There it is. You can see that it is curving. You can see here the daily is trying to lift. You got a little green dot there. You see same thing with J4X right there, trying to get through the line, trying to make the run, and it's trying. All right, let's see. And what else we got going on there? I guess that is what it is, Now from there, what's really odd, and we've watched it off and on for a couple of years now, and that is how Canadian sometimes joins in with the Turkish lira. I think what it really comes down to is that it's, they're both going against the dollar, and when the dollar, King Dollar, wants to go up, it's going to go up against whatever it wants to go up against. You know, and that's probably what it comes down to. It gains value against it versus losing value. So I think that's probably why we see that, you know. Let's put it up there. There's Canadian on the top. And let's put it in J4X. And again, we show you J4X because there's a good tool. It's a good tool. We've put together a simple tool for you to have, you know, it's not complicated. It gives you a good general idea on a day-to-day basis, and if you shorten it, that's fine too. You know, like hourlies and so forth, or 4 hourlies. And it gives you a good tool, what's going on. And remember, trust the slow and fast-moving stochastic that battles with each other. You know, it's 68 to 70% accurate to my math, and that's really a high number. I can't find anything out there that matches even close to it. So that's pretty good to pay attention to. This is 2 public indicators. A fast-moving stochastic is the white. A slow-moving stochastic is the golden dashed. Pay attention to it. It helps. It really will help you. Let's see, where else we got to say about that? You can see here, do we have it up right? Yeah, that's right. So this is the 4th day, isn't it? So line 20, or is this the 5th day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You know what? It's really 4, isn't it? It's not 5. So let's fix that. No, wait a minute. That's not it. Oh, there it is, right there. I was reading the wrong thing. So it's 10 weeks in a buy and 4 days in a buy. And so that's what's going on there. I guess we could move this over a little bit so you could see where it went in. It went into the buy back in here. And then for those that, you know, sometimes some like to tease me in here. I go, well, tell me this. Is this lower or higher? That's what I say. Is this lower here? Or is this lower? Which one is lower? Is that lower than this? Or is this higher? Is this higher than this? Doc's just being a clown. He's such a clown. You're such a clown, Doc. All right. And so, you know, it's just simple math sitting there saying, woo, be long or be wrong. All right. Now from there, this is kind of interesting, is we twist our way over to metals and oil for a little bit, and then we jump back to the currencies. But we look at the metals complex, and we look at the oil complex. And let's go to oil, because our math has been so wrong. It's been so wrong. And even yesterday I was saying, well, maybe this has got to be telling us it's going to go up. Wrong. Doc is wrong. All right. And so you can see over here, oil finally gets into the daily sell. Finally, after torturing us for like $3 or $2.50. And we're in a weekly buy, no less. So, oh my God. Now tell me it didn't go wrong. There's your 1.5 that I'm always talking about. It pops out once in a while. Now, the good thing is that Doc's math usually, like 9 out of 10 times, it's like 9.5 out of 10 times, it makes its money back. So that's always the nice thing, as long as you keep on following it. And so here we go. Let's take a look at that. There is crude oil. Right there, that's Texas light, sweet crude. Sounds like something you'd want to eat at an ice cream parlor. And obviously, Kinky Ashy has been reading it, and J4X has been reading it very well. And here is one time where it outmaneuvered our own math. And let's go over to, let's see, where is it hiding? Oh, okay, I gotta go like this. Oh, avalanche. Let's see. We gotta go over to, let's see if we do it like that. No, bring it down like that. Maybe. There we go. Let's do it like that. Ah, there it is. Okay. Let's go to that. There we are. And let's put it up on there. Oil, not copper. Oil, right there. Finally! Woohoo! We're in a sell. We've been below for only like a day and a half on the weekly. And we've been long since we've been wrong right here. let's accentuate Doc's wrong right there. So at one point it put us into a cell here, but that's too late. You know, it's the way it goes. You know, we came in the next, you know, we were telling our clients, oh yeah, it's going down, and the next day they threw in some more trades out of nowhere, and the next thing you know, it went up. And then the next day again put us into a cell. And then the next day we woke up and they put new trades again. It's like, what? So, wow, somebody's been playing the game there trying to hide it. Maybe they're trying to hide it from Doc's math at the same time. And so there you can see it rolled over. And finally we are in a short, and probably, I would assume, just watching the way the math has worked all 40 some odd years, that it will go down to maybe 60 or 59 or 61, something like that, and make back what has been lost. So there it is for that. Now here's an interesting one, and that is gold. Gold is refusing to break down. We got a couple red dots, and let's give it a refresh, but it's refusing, whereas the other two metals are in cells, you know, platinum and silver. You can see this is not giving up, and at the same time, you know, it's probably like if you want Doc's opinion, pretty much it looks like they're buying gold and selling silver and selling platinum. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, that's how it looks like, because that's what makes sense to me. They don't want to be naked long the gold, but they know that the gold will outperform the other two, and so that's exactly what they're doing. And at least that's what it looks like to me. That's what the math is trying to tell us, because should we wait or go to it? We could go to it right now, or we can go back over to the currencies and then go back and look at the metals in more in depth. How's that? Since no one seems to be here and no one seems to care. So I think I'll do it that way. Let's jump over to the currencies again, and we'll go to the South African Rand. Let's see, where are you? ZAR. Zool, like in Ghostbusters, you know. Right there. There we go. You can see this is doing something really whack. It's going up when gold is going up. This is like when Middle Age 2 days ago said, Doc, gold is going up and dollar's going up. And I was like, yeah, really? Cool, let's see. And then when we looked at it, we realized, well, they had both been in uptrends, just at different times during the day, that's all. But in this case here, you know, we're towards the top of the range in the ZAR. We don't know, and we don't even know if the South African Rand is feeling the Zuma event. You know, is he killing people out in the streets again? I don't know. You know, I mean, if I was, well, I don't know if I was him, I wouldn't be doing that stuff. But if you have to think like him, you have to assume when the world is on fire, which is what it is right now, Europe and the United States is totally aghast at what's going on in Afghanistan. You know, you could probably get away with more killings the way they were doing that in South Africa, which was freaking out the currency. Because, I mean, gold is going up, and the South African Rand is going up, so that's kind of odd. Usually the Rand goes down against the dollar when gold is going up in value. So we're not seeing that today. Now let's take a look at the ruble. Ruble doing the same thing. We went into the daily buy there yesterday. Let's put that in there. And there it is right there. You can see the went into the buy. We're flirting with the weekly buy, but we're not there yet. Ruble's trying to show some short-term strength here, which means, no, it's not really showing strength. It's showing weakness by going up. You know, there's more rubles now to the dollar. Again, king dollar being king dollar. Then, you know, the yen is doing its thing. It also went into a buy there yesterday, and you can see it made new highs today, but is kind of backed off a little bit. Still a green dot though, so that's cool. And then where do we go from there? Then we look at the Mexican peso. Mexican peso. Do 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 do. I think I'm singing a song from a John Wayne movie in Mexico. And you can see there for 3 days now it's been in a daily buy. Let's put that little line in there. Right there. Let's put the little selly in there. There's a sell. Right there. And you can see we are piercing the weekly buy. So we're getting a little one of these humps again, you know, one of those little humps that are going up. Did the same thing there. Only this time it's a little bit stronger. It's more like this one, you see. It's a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. And let's take a look at it on the J4X. The Medico. Dollar against the Medico. I keep on hearing that John Wayne film whenever I say Mexican peso. And I sing that little song every day. It just floats right through my little mind. And you can see here the white line is cleanly moving up past the little slow-moving stochastic right there. And just like our work is doing. And then you can see we got lots of green dots going on. You can see the Hinky Ashies are joining in for the party. It be the party. Then, from there we move over to, where do we go to? Let's see, we did ruble, we did South African rand, we've done the Mexican peso, and we've done the Japanese yen. Okay, so that's the 4, right? Yeah, that's the 4. And so now what we can do is we can go to the metals complex and take a deeper look. Let's see, where do we go from there? There it is, right there. We go do the shift. There we are. And there is the gold. And that story about gold and the dollar, that's really fun. It's kind of like the anniversary month of when they disconnected the gold from the dollar, and it's, you know, kind of, it's like a retro thing, looking back at it, all the stories that are kind of fun, you know. Let's see, can you imagine that, you know, de Gaulle sending a battleship to New York Harbor? That's funny. And Lord Baring, you know, walking into the U.S. Treasury and saying, "I'd like to take out $3 billion worth of gold, please." And they came down to an agreement to do $750 million, and then they closed the window. So here it is. Let's take a look at silver. Well, we got the gold up. Let's do that, and we can put it on J4X. As we have the gold up, just to remind you again, see, it's in a buy, and it's in a weekly buy too, and so it's inching its way constantly up. And I think it's just an arbitrage game they're playing. And let's put it up on the J4X. I really do. I think they're selling the other metals and buying gold because it's the thing to do. You know, quantity-wise, it's the easiest, I guess you could say, in many ways. You can, you know, buy one big ingot bar and, you know, compared to dozens and dozens of little silver things to equal the same amount of money. And same thing with platinum. You'd have to buy twice as much as the platinum almost just to get the gold. So you might as well buy the gold and sell the other two. Now, there is silver right there. And silver's still in that weekly sell, as you can see in our math. And let's put it on right there on J4X. And there in our math, you can see in a weekly sell, you know, the time manifolds are minus, you know, the silver is, you know, down, red dots, you know, the pressure is on there. You see it right there. Where is the other one? I'm confused. There it is. You can see it's breaking down there. There's a lot of pressure on it. Then let's take a look at platinum, because platinum is feeling the same pain. Sounds like the old Tarzan song from camp. Tarzan, swinging on a rubber band. And Jane feels the pain. Let's see, right there for the platinum. And you can see there, that's breaking down. Wow, that's like bon voyage. It's like, let's kill the product to the lows of the last 9 months. Maybe, I don't know. Is that some of the lows? What is that? How far back does that go? When's the last time we seen it down there? There's November of 2020. Almost a year ago we were down there. Ouch, baby, baby. There's November right there. We're going after, and we've taken out the 3-week low, which also took out like the 11-month low. Wow. There's a smack in the head. All right, and you can see on the fact check we don't even put the dailies in there, because no one seems to care but me. And so you can see we're 15 weeks now in a weekly sell right there. 15 weeks on the fact check spreadsheet. And this thing's been, it's just, well, you can see where the pink line is, since like May. It's been in a sell since the 1200s. It's lost a few dollars there, and that's for sure in value. Alrighty, now from there we see we've done the metals. Let's take a quick look at nat gas. Right there. Nat gas has been showing some weakness. We've been in that on the fact check spreadsheet. We've been in a weekly buy on that one for 18 weeks. Let's just put that on there. See it right there? 18 weeks. 18 weeks in a weekly buy. This thing went from 280 to 425. And we've been in a daily sell since right here. And we've been flirting with the weekly sell all week long. And Jane feels the pain. Yeah. It's nat gas feels the pain. That's natural gas swinging on a rubber band. And you can see it's just dropping and dropping and dropping. I don't know what that means. I don't know why it means. And I mean, it was odd that we saw natural gas go from 280 in the spring all the way up to the dead of summer, August, to 425. That's kind of unique in its actions, So so you see there's the two energies that we follow, the crude and that. Let me just throw the crude up again one more time. Right there. So we finally, after getting our heads handed to it, we're going to emphasize how bad we did on this one. Oh yeah, Doc's not afraid. There you go, right there. It's like, what? So finally, it's breaking down. Wow, they've been trying, that's for sure. All right, let's see, and what's next here? I was so wrong. The math was so wrong. Oh no. And so that's at 1.5. It's right there, 1.5. And it tried to tell us, with the normal trading, it tried to tell us we're in a sell. And then the next day we'd wake up and it was back in a buy. It's like, what? How does that work like that? All right, what's next? So we've done the oils, we've done the metals. And so now we can go and check out, say, the stock indices. The world is taking it on a chin, so let's see what's doing over there. We're going to tune into that. Right there. This is on a short term. We're measuring the Teslas in the markets. That's what we're doing. So the S&P 500 is down 35 points, which is a pretty big move. And that's the one right here. We can throw that up. And this is ticking away live. Because we're measuring two Teslas now. And you can see when the Tesla bar goes down here and our work goes down here, it goes down in value. And then when our Tesla bar goes into a positive in the plus side here, it goes up in value. And now the Tesla bar has broken down again. So we're seeing some weakness again. We'll see how much that weakens. Remember, we had the news come out too. Did anybody see the news? I'd imagine the unemployment number. Let's see what the unemployment number was. I forgot. That came out right at the beginning of the webinar. Let's see what the numbers came out today. I think we can get the Dukascopy thing on the page here. I think that's how it works right there. right there. Pull it like that. Minimize like that. Shrink it down there. And go into the Dukascopy Economic Calendar. You can bring it up on there like that. And let's see what they said. What did they say? Where is it? It's on here. There it is. Today. Let's just do today right there. And at 8:30 was it 8:30? Initial jobless claims. 348 actual, 352 forecast. So pretty much right there. No real big shakes there. Yeah. All right. So, well, that didn't last long. So it was minus two Tesla bars, and then went right back up and made whatever you lost. So there was another winner chicken dinner, just like that was a winner chicken dinner, and that was a winner chicken dinner, and that was a winner chicken dinner. So whoop, there was a head fake, and then it made your money right back right there. And that was a winner chicken dinner. And this is just ticking away on the short term. Now, let's dance our way over to, that's the S&P 500. Now let's dance our way over to the Dow Jones, the great lady. Let's see what the Dow Jones Industrial Average is looking like. So you can see there, that's, how many Teslas is that? I think that's 2 Teslas also. No, 1 Tesla, 369. So you can see here, it went into the buy there and went up, went into the sell there, it went down, went into a buy there, it went up, went into a sell way back here, went all the way down to there, went into a buy here, went up, and so then this one was really shaky here. What was that during the that was during the news, because the news came out right here, so it threw it down for a couple. Giannis used to talk about that a lot, about how to trade the data, the fundamental data. Then it tried to get into the buy there, and then rolled over and went there, and now we're trying to go up again now there. So that's the great lady, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now what we'll do is we will drift over to the Tech 100, or what we call here in the States, the NASDAQ 100. And you can see right there doing the same thing, going into the buy there, going up in value, going in there. The Tesla went down in value. And there, this is during the actual news itself. I think that was right there at the news, right? Right there was where the news was. The news came out off of this one. So it tried to push it down and got real choppy and sloppy. I think that was what Giannis's webinar was all about, his video that he talked about, over the years, and that was that the fundamentals do not follow the markets as they used to, not since quantitative easing. And there was the buy again, there was the sell for a very short one. There was a good buy there, there was a good sell, there was a good buy there. And then we start to drift into the no man's land, the quiet times. Like a sell there, and it gives us a buy for a couple of these, going nowhere basically. All right, that is the intraday, looking at it on a Tesla level. Bing. And then what we do is we go over and, like on the J4X, we look at it on a day-to-day basis. So let's check out the first one again. The S&P 500 on a day basis now. Right there, S&P 500. And let's put that up on, where's that at? I guess we have to shift screens again. So we go like so. There we are. And then we go like so. We put in the S&P 500 right there. You can see we're seeing some pressure. We closed in the daily sell yesterday. Still in that weekly buy. You can see the strength all there. And you can see over in J4X, same situation. Going down, breaking down, down she goes, making challenges to lows we have not seen in 25 weeks. Now I'm talking about on the stochastic, price-wise. Nah, the Federal Reserve is going to hold the line. It's kind of like it's like a rugby scrimmage. The what do you call it, when they hook it up on the scrimmage line, you know, where the hooker takes the two big guys and puts his arms around it, and they lean their heads and shoulders up against the other guys. A scrum, that's it. It's like a scrum going on there. The Federal Reserve is doing a scrum. And then, so that's what we see there. And then let's go over to the Dow Jones Industrial Average on J4X, right there. And there is the scrum there. Same thing, going down. You know, the Stoke is at one of the lowest since June, but the price is not. You know, they're going to hold it up. That's the only way the politicians can try to spend the money. If they keep on convincing everybody everything is okay, there is no inflation, it's just transitory. Don't pay attention to it. Just because to fill up the tank in your automobile costs twice the amount, or to charge it costs 40% more, or if you go and buy food it costs about 30% more, or if you go to what else is going up? You tried to buy lumber at one point, it went up to $16 a board foot. I mean, it's down to $5 a board foot now, but it's lost 75% of the gain, or 70% of the gain basically. But it also exploded from $3 and $4 a board foot to 16. So we're seeing that in the commodities and so forth. Maybe we'll jump over to commodities after we get done these stock indices, if no one has a question. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones. We're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, so let's put it up on the Chicago Quant. Right there. There it is. You see also a second day in a daily sell. But the weekly doesn't seem to really care that much about it. It's starting to, of course, but not yet. But, I mean, it's just starting to break down through the non-linear time manifold there. Now, last but not least, we jump over to the Tech 100, or we know it as the NQ, the NASDAQ. And let's put it up on J4X, right there. The USA Tech Index. And as it loads its way through, we have. Then, what's next? Let's do, what are we doing? Let's see. That's a little more interesting. I mean, we're using a gas 335 Super. So what's happening is that in this case here, I guess what we really should be doing is that should be a line. So we should make it like let's see, how do we do this? I think we have it backwards. So what we really should do is the histogram should be the green, okay? So we'll do that. The histogram is going to become the green. That's our normal 3. That's our plot 1, 3. Then our plot 4 is going to be the white line. Is that right? I guess it's the other way around, right? That's what it comes down to. So that should be white. That's what it is. And that should be green. And that's a line. Like that. Then we take this and we turn it into the blue and we make it a line. That's what it is. That's the Super 5, which is the plot 5. And because of the beta of it, what we do is, let's see if we do this. That's the way it should be. So it matches up with the rest of the other gas lines on all the other screens. So the plot 1 is the green and the white, just like when we look at it in other products. And you can see here, it's still in the buy zone. But what happens is we watch this with the Super because of the beta of it. So you can see here, the plot 5 the plot 1 in 5 is the blue. And you can see when it breaks down, the product has a natural tendency to break down. It's the way the beta is for the high beta, low beta situation in stocks. You can see how it pierces this here, telling us that the strength is starting to come in, and you can see it rises. And so that's what it really should be. And we should do this. We should make this locked in like that. There we are. And then we should save this, because that is important. That's the way it really does it too. And so you can see the weakness on the daily, and you can see that the weekly has broken down a week ago, and we're having that weakness. And at the same time, the plot 1 and 4 of gas line 3 is still holding up. And so, I mean, when that joins in, you know that there's some action on the downside. Now, in this case here, it took a while, but when they both go into the minus, you can see they try to stay down. Key word there is try. But notice the moment that the plot 1 of gas line 5 jumps across, notice the strength starts to kick out and makes higher lows. And it's a warning that the strength is coming. That's what it is. Indeed, no scanning. We don't need the scan right now. Alright, so that's what we're doing there, and that's why that needs to stay that way. Okay, so let's see, that's the 3 stock indices. Now we've been showing you the weakest of all the stock indices in the United States. We talk about it here every so often. That is the Russell 2000. Sounds like a rocket, doesn't it? And they're launching the Russell 2000. It sounds like some type of plane or something. And you can see here, we're going after we went almost after the lows of right there. Where I see this product in particular, and let's put that up there a little bit clearer too. This product in particular, you can see, has played with the bottom there, then the bottom there, making a higher low. Then it made a lower low right there, taking out that one, and almost taking out that, but missed it. Now it looks like it's trying to visit that again. Let's see how they go over the next couple of days. But we're in a weekly sell since last week, and we've been in a daily sell since 2 weeks ago. And it's just been refusing to get into a buy. So it's been, and it gave us 2 volatility signals right at the top too. That was kind of interesting. Yeah, and that's where the sell is right there. Went into the sell right there. Right before the volatility signals. So that's been interesting in its own right. Now that, like I said, that's the Russell 2000. That is kind of like what the NQs or the Tech 100. When they called the Nasdaq the Tech 100 around here, it was doing a very bad job. Compared to the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It was something we called it back in the 1990s and the year 2000 and so forth, and late 1980s. It was not that good an index back then. Matter of fact, it went to 5,000 and then fell down to like 1,500, lost 75% of its value, kind of like the Japanese Nikkei, and then it took decades to get it back up to there. And in 2000, or wait a minute, 2000 it got to 5,000. That's what it was. And then it fell apart on the internet crash. And it went down to 1,500 or 1,800, something like that. And then it took decades for it to get going again. Decades. Matter of fact, let's see what J4X shows us about that. That's well worth looking at. Let's take a look at it on a month-to-month basis. Let's see if we can make that lift it up a little bit. And you can see, as we go back, it shows all the way to, what is that, 2011. The product was trading at 3,000. So in 2000, it was trading at 5,000. So it was trading up to here, right? And it fell down to like 1,800 or something like that, 1,500. And you can see it held on for years. Where the Dow and the S&Ps made new all-time highs, it took all the way until 2014-15 with quantitative easing for 5 years at that point, 7 years, 7 years. With quantitative easing for 7 years, it finally took out the 5,000. So it took 15 years, whereas all the others are making all-time highs. We're at all-time highs in 2008 and 9. In all the other products, and then they crashed it, and then then the quantitative easing started in 2008. Mr. Obama came in, and he when he took a lead in those polls, everything just rolled right over. By the time the election had come around, the Dow Jones was down big time. All right. And then quantitative easing just led the rest of the way throughout all his career as president. And then the Dow almost tripled under Trump. Under Trump, it tripled almost. From its high to the next two highs, it went up to 31,000 from 12,000. Whereas Obama dropped from 12,000 to 6,000 and climbed back up to about 12 or 13,000. That's all it ever did. Just a little bit good, All right, what else we got to talk about here, traders? That is the 4 major indices outside of the United States. It's a quiet Thursday. So maybe we'll look at some of the inflation characteristics that we've been talking about around here. We can take a look at some of the grains if you care. We can, all these things are used as currencies in the end result. Let's see, let's look at interest rates. And that's kind of neat. Here is the 30-year with all that inflation allegedly happening. That's what they say. It's transitory. There is the 30-year bond. Now, when this goes up in value like that, you can't see that now. Let's do that. Let's bring that down a little bit, like so. And we'll reset that for tomorrow, like so. Let's see. First, we need to move back into the daily, like that. And then let's get back up into there. We'll put the Swissy back in there, like so. There we are. We're set for tomorrow now. Okay, now this is what is that? What is that doing? Why is that doing that? There we go. Okay, so you can see here when this goes up in value, that means interest rates are dropping. Okay, so the bond becomes more expensive to buy, which means interest rates are obviously going down. And then vice versa. When this is going down, that's the price of the bond, interest rates are rising. And it doesn't seem like there's that much of a scare for all the inflation that we're seeing. This is the 30-year bond. It does have an upwardly trek, which is really astonishing. in all logic, that is really astonishing. But then when you really think about it, look at that upwardly trek. Douglas! Beans, Doc! Suey, wheat, meat! Sure, why not? All right, let's jump over to that. Let's see, what was the first one? Beans. Beans are pushed into a daily and a weekly sell at the moment. Right there. Let's give it a refresh. But yeah. Oh, we gotta fix that again too, because it's only showing yesterday now. There we go. As you can see here, there's the weekly. And it's pressing hard on it all week long. Let's see if we can do that right there. You can see it's pressing hard on it. It is. And then, let's see. There's the daily. It's been a daily sell for 3 days. It's been pretty clear shot. And they're dropping down in value. Then, let's see. What did Douglas say? Then from there, wheat. Let's check out the wheat. 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 You might have to check out pigs too. And you can see wheat's trying to do the same thing, except for you can see right there, it's just barely piercing the time manifold at this point. But it's also been in a daily sell for 3 days. You can see that right there. And then let's see, what else did Douglas say? Meat. Let's show the hoggies first. There's the hogs. And hogs have been going up in value. But look at the weekly. It is kind of curious. It's flirting with the weekly sell. Went into the buy back in here. It went up. Then we went into a sell here. It went down. And we went into a buy here. It lasted for a day and went into a sell again. So you couldn't take the short. You only could take the longs. And then it went into the buy here. And it was all right for a day or two. And then now we're on the weekly sell side of it. So it's a neutral again. And it's up. Now let's take a look at cattle. And what cattle should we look at? Should we look at December cattle? Should we look at April cattle? Or should we look at October cattle? Let's see what the front month looks like. Front month. Right there, there's Aki Daki. It's been in a buy since here. You can see it's in a weekly here. Yeah, look at that. It's been in a buy since right there. It's not flirting with its weekly sell like the hogs are. Let's go into the back months and take a look at the contango. Here is April of 22. Same situation. Doing fine. Doing fine. And then let's look at deck. I don't think we have anybody looking at the deck cattle. Let's see what that looks like. There's deck cattle doing the same thing. Fine. Back months are fine. All right. That was for Douglas. Beans, soy, meat, wheat, and meat. Let's see. What else? You want to see what bean oil looks like or meal before we leave? We can do that for you. Would you like to see that? I'll wait a few seconds and wait and see from the respond. And then I guess from there we have to figure out a title for this too at the same time. What should we call this today? How about gold is on its own? I think that's what it really feels like too. Gold is on its own. It does feel like that, doesn't it? The gold is on its own. Where is that? That's not it. Oh, what we got it there? Maybe there we go. Click on it there. Let's see. We're gonna find it. All right. Let's go to the meals and the beans, and then we'll cut out of here. There's the meal. Meal's been in a daily sell for a while, but it's been trying to climb up. It missed going into the weekly buy. And you couldn't really take you could take the short and you lost. And then now it's making the money now. So that's that. And then bean oil went into a sell, and it's in the daily sell doing the same thing, and that's a winner. So the meal's been kind of really a very successful trade for a while. Let's just go back to that really quick. I mean, I was saying that to Robin. I mean, we were in a sell from here, and every sell signal was just a winner. It just kept on giving us winners and winners, and you go into a sell again here, and it went down again, and then it tried to jump up, and it went into a sell again, and it was a winner. I mean, there's a lot of winners in that, and I said that to Robin. We need to show that more often. I mean, this one was an interesting one. It took a couple days for it to figure it out, and then boy, did they give you a big win. So, of late, went into the buy here. Then we went into the sell. I guess where is it? Is it right there? I guess it's the sell's right there. And for a day, it went down a little bit, nothing major, and then it lifted for 3 days, not too far, but enough to hurt you. But it stayed in the sell, and then the weekly was in the sell, and zoom, it's back down again. So, all right, I guess that's it. This is Doc from North America. We will catch you all tomorrow on TGIF. And you want to see what the opening market looks like on Doc's work. It's kind of entertaining, I always think. Here's the let's look at the S&P 500 swinging away. They put it into the buy there on a 2 Tesla bar, and you can see it tried to go into a sell for 2 bars, and boy, look at that nice win out of that. So your stop cuts you, and then you're long, and so it's winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. Happy trails to you until we meet again. That'll be TGIF tomorrow. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Bye-bye, Dukascopy pals. Catch you along the trail.